Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey.
We
do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Do it for Deuce.
Back in studio, the mouse works.
Wow.
A little background refresh. How are we doing?
What up, Deuce?
Hey.
Hey, Morgan.
Hi.
Oh man, it feels so good to be back in here. Let's go, Kings.
Let's go, Kings.
Happy Wednesday night. We're not shivering outside. We're not at the NBC studios fighting for space. We are back in the spacious Deuce and Mo podcast studios. So good to see Jeb back, Jedediah back. What do I call him?
Jeb?
Is it Jeb or Jed? I never know what to call him.
You
He's not listening
made
right now.
him.
He is not my son. I know I play like kind of a fatherly role with him.
Yeah.
Not my kid, actually.
I mean, if you talk to your kid like
And
that,
he's-
then you shouldn't be a father.
He's 53. I literally can't be his dad.
That's insane how that works.
Oh, man. Kings lose tonight.
What? Wait, one more thing. I love that you said spacious. Like the room size did not change.
Oh,
it's
more. It's still bigger than ever. Yeah.
Morganization. Morganization is what happened.
Well, I mean, I think I see Jedediah in the back. This is about 30 feet away. If that's not spacious to you, it is what it is. Appreciate you basketball sickos with us tonight.
Give me a hell yeah!
It's weird coming off a Kings loss and not feeling like too devastated. I don't know about you guys, but I feel okay. I'm never happy when they lose, but I'm not like, duh, or like, you know, it's like,
Oh, I again, when you see this roster and this team and just growth from them. Now, tonight, there were things that just weren't good enough, but but also the Denver Nuggets were coming out and doing things better.
Yes.
So
absolutely. So we have that to talk about. We have to bounce around the NBA because the Suns are dead. Rest in peace, Phoenix Suns.
Rest in peace.
Not even making the play-in. Dallas played the Lakers tonight. Luka's return. By the way, speaking of Dallas, the Kings will be playing the Mavs in the play-in. Is it Sacramento or is it in Dallas? We'll find out in the next couple of games for sure. Also, Harrison Barnes tonight.
Got to talk about Harrison Barnes.
A game winner for the Spurs against the Warriors, and it dropped Golden State to the play-in. So we may just get a Kings-Warriors part 3 this year, huh?
Well, that's what you wanted.
Be careful what you wish for, Deucey, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a hell yeah!
If you have not done it yet, the biggest thing you could do is hit the thumbs up, and we got to give some shout-outs to the people who are here, win or lose, because you are certified basketball sickos. Shout out to Progressive. Shout out to Optimistic Penguin. What's up, Alex? Space X Dragon Chicken. Donald James. Shout out to Carlin, who's digging out the carpet right
Carlin.
now. Hey, Alex. What's up? Robin, Omar, Jacob, Donald James. What's going on? Ice, Jay, Hacks. Appreciate all you guys for being here tonight.
There's also a new rug in here.
Yeah, a new rug that Carlin likes. I wonder if that's coming through. Hold on. You have to be able to hear that.
You have to.
That's That's Carlin's really. I gotta say that at the end of the season, Carlin's becoming a main character. Like we get it, dude. You have to understand your role, Carlin. You're kind of just like a bit player, but you're trying to ease your way into being a main character.
But you have to learn how to talk or learn how to watch basketball if you're going to do that shit.
Exactly.
Or I don't know, maybe grow 2 more legs that work.
He's at 2.5-ish.
We love you.
Also, another thing I'm going to challenge you guys tonight. Peer around the studio walls. Let us know what you think is different. Because on the surface, you go, oh, it's the same thing.
There's a lot of the same, though. It's just...
There's some things that are in prominent spots that weren't being shown on camera before.
Really?
Yeah, you don't even notice.
I mean, I'm the one that...
Move real fast.
Created
Get out of the way. Let's show off one new addition. No, just like move. Like literally move so we could see the corner. This is the 02-03 Sacramento Kings. Look at that.
How was
Painting.
anyone going to notice that unless I actually had moved? You told everyone to look around.
I didn't know you were taking up the whole wall, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we got a laugh track. Are you looking for your stupid fucking laugh track?
It's been a while since I've been here. You know what I mean?
No one thinks you're funny.
I know you're taking up the
like a monster.
Man. No more Step Brothers poster. Oh, good eye. The Sabonis Fox.
Well,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Bye.
I mean, that's funny.
But let us know in the comments after the show what you notice that is different. And what should we add, too? Yeah. All
what
right.
should we add? There's no more space.
Sometimes it's about taking something down. Like
No, I did this for hours.
Anyway.
Hi. Ew.
All right. Deuce and Mo. How about we start the podcast? Back in studio. Deuce and Mo. Come down 3. My mouse works.
And his mouse works.
Will everything else work? We'll find out
Oh
together.
my
3,
God.
2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Recording this late on a Wednesday night. Kings back at home after a long 6-game trip. Started bumpy 0-3, followed up with 3 straight wins. In town, the Denver Nuggets. Always a tough foe, but even tougher because the Nuggets, although playing without Jamal Murray, had dropped 4 in a row, and 24 hours ago, they fired head coach Michael Malone and GM Calvin Booth. Yes, Michael Malone, who spent 10 seasons as head coach of the Denver Nuggets, who had won a championship with the Denver Nuggets, and Jokic's only coach he's ever had in his NBA career gone. In his place, an interim coach, David Adelman. Young David Adelman spent time in Sacramento. His dad, Rick Adelman, who was the head coach of the Kings for 8 seasons, all 8 of which were winning seasons. He's the interim guy. David Adelman going up against his dad's old player, Doug Christie. What the hell is this basketball world we're living in? But you knew that the Denver Nuggets were going to have something tonight. Were they going to come in emotionally drained, emotionally charged, or both? They came ready to play in this one. Denver competed at a high level. The Kings struggled defensively in that first half. Second half, Denver goes up by 16 late in the third quarter, but then LaVine got it going. The Kings were able to cut it to 4, but the shot making by the Nuggets was, too much. And Sacramento fell to the Denver Nuggets on the home floor, 124-116. They fall to 39-41 on the year. And Denver bounces back, snapping their 4-game skid. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. We are back in the studio, finally, for the first time since like March 25th-ish. I think that is March 26th.
Oh yeah, you said I think the 24th.
Okay, right around there.
Yeah.
The OKC game. We are back in studio. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I love being
wow.
well, yeah. No, Kings lost for sure. I'm fantastic. I love being back in here. And it feels a little bit more bright and ready for whatever's to come with this season and beyond.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Creating a good energy here.
Well, we did learn a couple of things today, too. Malik Monk is going to be missing at least the next couple of weeks, so he will not
Right
be in the
after I talk
play-in.
about good energy.
It's worth noting they did sign Terrence Davis. No Keegan Murray in this game tonight. They list him as day-to-day going forward with lower back soreness.
Yes.
So hopefully he can come back soon because the Kings will need him definitely in the play-in, but the next game too, Friday when they take on the Clippers, they have secured a play-in spot. Where will they be playing? We don't know. It's either Sacramento or Dallas because the Suns are dead after losing tonight to Oklahoma City. They will not be a play-in team. It's Kings-Mavs in the play-in. But first things first, before we get to all of that, we have to talk about tonight's game.
Yeah, I feel like
I just
you
felt
like re-recap there after you.
I realized there's some stuff that I should put in that recap that I failed to put in there.
I mean, you had a 7-minute beginning recap, and so it's like
I thought people liked my intros.
they become longer and longer. Like you're getting older and older, and like forgetting how long you're actually talking.
You know, I'll say this.
What?
The one thing that got me, I have noticed, not that I have a lot of facial hair, so some people are going to laugh at this. I'm starting to get some grays on my chin. And as a 27-year-old, it is a little jarring to see. Like, I guess my question for the people who are my age in their mid to late 20s,
Mid-30s.
do you ever get like, have you had grays or?
I love that you're asking and feeling this after I started. As soon as my grays started coming in, no.
You're 10, 11 years older than me. Like
Same
I
age.
don't-
My grays. I am like, and then. On this podcast, anytime I had my hair back, you're like, whoa, the grays are shining tonight. And it's like, yeah, I was trying to embrace them. And now look at you, gray old piece of shit.
Oh man, I'll be kind of sexy, gray, huh? Who's that silver fox?
I love it.
Deuce
Like
Mason.
Kings lose and all we do is talk about
right.
it. Yeah.
Let's get to the game.
Please.
You heard Mike recap. Where do we start with tonight's game? I think the first half is kind of, you don't like necessarily lose a game in the first half, but the second half I was like fine with it. First half, the shot making wasn't there. DeRozan got off to a really tough spot. I thought the Nuggets defense on LaVine early was fantastic.
Yes.
And for a guy who has had it really going the last 2 games against the Cavs and the Pistons, I thought Denver did a good job of trying to make him a playmaker. In the first half, he only had 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting, but he was doing damage as a playmaker. And I think that played right into what the Nuggets wanted to do is we got to limit this guy, especially when they're shorthanded.
Yeah. And whatever they're like, however they worked on that within their game plan, they executed, and it made life more difficult for Zach LaVine and it made it more difficult to look for his, right? Because even we keep talking about this Kings roster, there's no true point guard on this team, and nobody feels super comfortable with handling the basketball. At times, even with Zach LaVine, it was like when that pressure would come on, he had to get rid of it. There was times I pointed out to you, though, I was like, God, he could have made that pocket pass there. Again, I'm saying this from a different view, whether it's an angle on the television or way up there, and I'm going, I feel like he could have made that pocket pass or made that bounce pass here, where instead he was making it go just around the horn, right? That left to right. It just wasn't doing enough. So then when they started to make adjustments for Zach LaVine, and we can get straight into that unless you want to keep talking about
I want
the
to
first.
talk about some of the things I thought Denver did really well. And this is a huge credit to Nikola Jokic. Jokic was fantastic defensively in this game. And, you know, I think he's also underrated defensively in some ways. People act like he can't defend. This guy tonight was a monster. And I thought the Kings could have done a better job making him pay. But he was showing hard on pick and roll situations and in dribble handoffs where he was going to make sure that he was going to show high on LaVine and then recover, right? Go back toward the basket if Sabonis was rolling.
Yeah.
And they did a good job pressuring LaVine in these situations.
His length would pose as a problem in those
Absolutely.
situations.
And the Nuggets have a lot of length. Like, you look at their starting lineup tonight, even without Jamal Murray, like, Jalen Pickett's got some good size. Christian Brown's got good size. And you've got Gordon, Porter, and Jokic. It's a long, athletic team. But I thought they did a really good job of that. What LaVine did better in that second half was get off the ball faster and notice, oh, Sabonis is up. He knows it's coming and get off the ball faster. Or when he started to get cooking in that third quarter, he had 11 points in the third. A couple of times what he did was reject that screen and go the other way and get to his spot, get a good look from three. So the adjustment came. I thought it came a little too late. I felt like the Kings should have maybe adjusted that earlier in this game.
Sure. And it's like easier said than done, but I'm with you. It's like it was so obvious that he needed more attempts in that first half. And so for that adjustment to come and to make that happen in the second half was great. And whether it was within movement that he was shooting or it was him just attacking the rim, I thought that was looking good. There was a few times I wish that he was moving off ball a little bit more.
And that's another adjustment that they could have made is like, okay, they are trying to take away this two-man action with LaVine here, especially with the way Jokic is playing. I mean, if you watch how Jokic played it versus Isaiah Stewart, who was in drop coverage and wasn't recovering fast enough, and LaVine's like, you're going to give me this space, and I'm getting a good screen from Valanciunas or Lyles or Sabonis, I'm going to make you pay. But when Jokic is up that far, and with his size, like you said, it's tough.
Yeah. And so again, life was going to be difficult for him, sure. But I felt like the Nuggets defense did a really good job making other people's life more difficult. You think about Domas Sabonis and what his numbers tonight.
13 points, 12 rebounds, just 2 assists on 6 of 10. And I do need to go back and watch a little bit. I didn't feel like they ran the offense enough through him.
They didn't.
And I get him at that free throw line, get some Jokic extended a little bit here and see what you can do off ball. Like you're saying, when LaVine's got the ball and they're trying to get this two-man action going, maybe just get to Sabonis and let LaVine use his speed to come off screens.
And that's something that we saw in some of those wins, right? Where it was like he was jolting one way and coming back the other, being explosive off of 1 foot or whatever. And you weren't seeing that as much tonight. And I understand that's tiring. I understand there's going to be certain matchups you're just like not going to do as much of that as well. But I thought they needed to mix that a little bit more in. And for Sabonis, I don't know if it's him needing to demand the basketball in those situations or if it's him just trying to be this good teammate and be like, Zach's been going off on, on a heater or whatever. Let's make sure that he's getting his in this game when really Domas needs to make sure that he's still being aggressive in those situations.
And you saw the success of the last 3 games. Sabonis assist numbers up again because they're running shit more through him today, just 2. So, Jokic, of course, and those guys are playing physical. Like, they're bumping him off his spots, too. I mean, it was a challenge inside to get anything clean with the length and size. This was a game the Kings definitely miss Keegan Murray and Jake LaRavia. Both those guys at times defended Jokic in the last matchup, too. Just having more bodies to throw at this guy because he's just such a force. But, yeah, I thought, going back to the offense for a second, I was surprised. Like, we didn't see a ton of, like, high picks for LaVine as he crossed the logo like we saw the other night, where you maybe have, Jokic in space a little more. I would have liked to see more of that. There was no horn set with the 2 screeners up high.
Sure.
I was a little surprised at some of that stuff, but I thought LaVine got it going later in this game, which was great to see. In the second half, he had 19 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. He ends up in this game finishing with 27 points, 11 assists.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying, what you didn't like that we didn't actually get to see tonight for the Kings offense, I also want to make sure that I keep giving love to this Denver team on the defensive end. They came in hungry.
Dude.
They came in physical. They came in moving on a string. A lot of the fundamentals you saw, whether they were throwing themselves in a zone or packing the paint or just putting on that perimeter pressure and screwing and disrupting a lot of these guys' games. And you even think about someone like DeMar DeRozan, who was 8 of 26 from the field, and he was looking for his. And I asked you in the postgame, like, how do you feel about his shot selection tonight?
I felt like there were definitely some moments he forced some tough looks. I think there were also moments where he was just trying to foul hunt a little too much. And then there's just sometimes you miss shots. And the guy's been playing some pretty good basketball overall. And it was kind of the same thing with him, where like again, it's not just LaVine that they're sending, showing hard hedging or showing high on the pick and roll coverage. It's with any ball handler really, right? And DeRozan, same thing. Got to get that ball off sooner. And that's where you look at, okay, like got to be decisive with the passing. Okay, these teams are going to show different looks, and I think the Kings got to pick up on that shit faster. Sabonis probably had some open looks if they get off the ball faster in those moments. But yeah, some of his shots weren't great tonight.
Yeah, 0 for 5 from three-point land as well for him. Someone that we've seen make some of those shots. There was a stat we shared on the pregame show about his assist numbers as of late with Keon Ellis in the starting lineup that Kings Film Room had put up. And, things were looking good. He's finding guys. His vision is there. And when he has the ball, he's making the right decision and all. I just felt like tonight there was a few times, not so much that it just was sticking. It was like he was looking for shots that he's used to making, but I feel like the length was a little bit more disruptive, contesting some of his shots that he's used to.
Some of the other things that hurt them in the first half to me, the first quarter, Christian Braun.
Oh, my.
This guy is just a problem for the Kings. And part of it is just this guy plays so hard. And what a gift it is just to have the ability to have that type of size and the strength and speed. That guy goes end to end fast with or without the ball. He plays one way, and that is hard.
Yep.
And in tonight's situation, when there are moments where like DeRozan's trying to check him or Trey Lyles, there was one play where he literally just beat Trey Lyles down the floor. And it wasn't because Trey Lyles was jogging. No, Trey Lyles was running as fast as he could. And Christian Braun was so far ahead of him. And his ability to just run the floor, finish at the rim, he got too many easy looks. He had 16 points in the first half, ends up with 25 points in this game. And if it wasn't in transition, it was beating somebody off the dribble and getting right to the rim. I love the effort he plays with.
Yeah, I think Doug even talked about it after the game about, Christian Braun, good NBA player, but he shouldn't be, dropping 25 on us, right? And it was mostly happening in that first half when he kept attacking the paint and getting to the basket with ease. And getting there with ease mostly because of his strength, his size, and it was a tough matchup while everyone was a little bit too focused on Jokic. And I say too focused, and I know you're going to show some of his numbers in the shot chart.
I wasn't going to.
You
I was just looking for myself.
Okay, good. Because the point I wanted to get to was how guys were paying attention to Jokic on the defensive end. And that's why Braun got so many open looks, attempts into the paint because of the attention on Jokic. And especially when two guys were being thrown on Jokic, I asked Jerry Reynolds in the fourth quarter, I said, hey, Jer, would you just keep one guy on him and stop throwing that double and, not allowing him to just create so much for others? And he's like, yeah, they should make that adjustment. And then he ended up making it a few times.
That I felt like in the last matchup against Denver, maybe it's because Keegan and LaRavia were there. They did not. They were just like, no, we're just going to play him straight up and live with the results. Jokic tonight, it seemed like in the first half, anytime he touched the ball, especially posting up, they were throwing a double. Even when Lyles was on, they were throwing another guy.
Yep.
And I just don't like it. Because if you do it, you have to do it early. He's just too smart of a player. He's too gifted of a passer. His vision is unbelievable.
He's so big. He can see over everyone.
He's so big. And again, I'm not sitting here going, hey, dude, listen to my game plan on how to stop Jokic.
Thank God.
He is pound for pound the best player in the game. He got his 33rd triple-double tonight. He was fantastic. He ends up with 20 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and 4 steals. He had 4 steals tonight. And he did it 5 of 12 shooting 10 at the free throw line. But I just like playing him straight up. And I thought in the second half, the Kings did that. Even when they were seeking out a switch and Keon had to deal with them, Keon battled his ass off, poked away the ball. You had Lyles dive on the floor to get that loose ball at one point. I like the energy with that. And sometimes I like it, okay, have the smaller guy on him and then last second throw it. Let him put the ball on the floor and try to make something happen. There was too many times it was Jokic had the ball. He wasn't even looking to make his move. The double comes and he's just whoop. And then it's easy. Go back to when Valanciunas came in the game in the first quarter. they have Lyles on Jokic, and they had Valanciunas, I guess if you want to call it defending Gordon. Gordon is like stationed in the corner. Valanciunas is playing in the paint, playing off of Gordon, not respecting his shot, and there to help if necessary. And I don't know if the worry was, hey, we're worried that the Nuggets are going to get get Valanciunas in the two-man action, have him switch on a small. We don't want that. But what ended up happening is Valanciunas wasn't even paying attention to Gordon, and 2 times in a row, he comes in, easy lob to the basket.
Backdoor flex cut, and it was just like, because he was focused on the main weapon. But the main weapon only makes his teammates better. And that was just happening too much in this game early on, and that's why the points of the paint, the points in the paint ended up being better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
trending.
The first half was really bad. I think, let's see here.
And it was how they were generated is what was so frustrating.
First half, Denver had 34 points in the paint on 17 of 25 shooting. And they finished the game with 52. So a much better job by Sacramento. And I thought when they did just try to defend Jokic one-on-one, like with Lyles did his best, dude. Lyles was playing as physical as he could. And I'm sure Jokic looked frustrated at times with that physicality tonight.
Yeah, he did.
He did the best they could. So it's interesting. I didn't love how the Kings played in the first half. I thought their second half was much better. And like their Nuggets hit some unbelievable shots. Like that sequence when the Kings cut it to 4.
Oh,
they played great defense. 24-second shot clock winding down. Gordon gets it in the corner, swings it over to Porter. I thought Ellis had a good contest. And Porter's like, I'm 6'10". I'm a shooter. I'm confident. Bang.
There was nothing else you could do in that situation. It was a fantastic defensive possession, even better offensive possession. And so those moments there in the second half, I think that's why, too, as the game ended, you and I were both kind of like, God, I'm not angry. I don't feel blah after that. Because they rallied back.
And the compete has been so much better last 4 games. The Wizards was a low point for me. At that point, we were sitting here talking like, if this is going to be how they play, it's like
blow it up.
Done. Like 1, 2, 3, Cancun. I'm over this season. Let's all move on together. Yeah. But now you've seen how they play the last 4 games, winning 3 of 4, and how they played. Like, was it perfect tonight? No. I just think to win this game tonight, they needed to lock into the details better in that first half and make some quicker reads than they did in the first half. I thought they played much better. I mean, they played them even in the second half.
I don't think people give Denver enough credit because of them being kind of in the middle in the Western Conference. And then really you have to just look at their health this season and people being in and out of the lineup. Jamal Murray out right now. Obviously there was some other chaos going on with firing your head coach with 3 games left in the season. But I guess my point is when you see games like tonight and maybe they just felt good and re-energized with everything that was happening within their organization, they look like a good team. But you and I also mentioned this on our preview that we did earlier today. We said they don't have as much depth. It's all about the starters. And you saw a lot of that tonight.
We saw that, but then the thing we always talk about when we talk about the Nuggets or the Warriors, what's the non-Curry minutes look like?
Oh, yep.
You don't say it as much anymore because Jimmy Butler's there, but with Denver, it's always been the non-Jokic minutes are always a challenge for this team. So he plays the entire first and third quarters. First half, the Kings won the non-Jokic minutes by 2 points, 18-16. In the second half, the start of the fourth quarter, Denver won it by 8-7. So not crazy, but if Denver only loses the non-Jokic minutes by 1, and they're highly effective in the Jokic minutes, that usually ends up being a great result for them. And that's how they win 124-116. It was the others who were impactful. Even their bench tonight, even if they didn't score a ton, like the rebounding from the bench was fantastic. Yeah. Like Strother with 7 rebounds. DeAndre Jordan, the old man, he had 5 rebounds and 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Mentioned DeRozan shot selection earlier there. I think he got swallowed up by Jordan at one point. Isaac Jones passed up a corner 3 that was open. put it on the floor, attack. Jordan blocked a shot. Anyway, I just like the bench's energy, even if they weren't filling it up.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair to say because they were definitely keeping everything afloat or even doing more, even with Jokic not out there. But obviously, their starting crew, just the even scoring, did a fantastic job doing everything that they needed to do after the firing of their head coach.
Shout out Keon Ellis tonight.
Yeah.
Keon ends up with 20 points, 6 of 11 from 3 for Keon Ellis. What a 3-point shooter he has been in the NBA.
It's been fun.
So he had a really strong night playing 32 minutes. We mentioned LaVine's numbers. I briefly mentioned Trey Lyles too. Productivity. I mean, he had to battle Jokic, right? He ends up with 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists on 6 of 9 shooting.
Yeah, in that starting lineup once again. And I like what he adds when he understands the type of toughness that he needs to bring. And tonight it was like, okay, you got to bring toughness, but you also got to be physical. You got to be strong. Jokic was still going to get his in certain moments on him, push him down, whatever he needed to do. But at the same time, I love that he's still able to hold his own at times. And obviously crashing the boards was looking good.
Yeah, it's weird to feel this way after a loss.
Dude, we have felt so many different ways in the last week.
Oh,
2 weeks? 2 weeks now.
2 weeks? 6 months. 6 months.
That's fair.
Let's go back to October. We felt a lot of different emotions. But this Denver team, after Malone gets fired, pretty impressive response. In fact, dude, Jokic said something after the game that was frightening. Here's what Jokic said after the game to the Denver television broadcast, or maybe it was on ESPN.
People say that we are vulnerable, but I think the beast is always the strongest or the most dangerous when they're vulnerable. So maybe he woke up the beast.
In case you didn't understand.
Yeah.
People say that we were vulnerable, but the beast is always the most dangerous when they're vulnerable. Maybe he woke up the beast. Oh, shit.
Maybe he woke up the beast.
The basketball god, the Nuggets ownership. I don't know who they're talking about, but that's some badass shit.
We'll see how.
You woke up the beast is vulnerable? Yeah.
We'll see how they continue the rest
He's
of the
a beast.
I don't know why that gets you so pumped, but we'll see how he finishes.
Morgan, that's a line, that's a promo before the Raw before Mania.
Say it like a promo then. So
Who am I? Let me be like emotional Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah, no. Be American Nightmare. Is that him?
Whoa. Can you do this theme before and I'll come out?
Tell me which one is it? Yeah, it's so funny. I have Randy Orton in my head.
Whoa. You don't know?
Yeah. Wait, I kind of do. I
have to have like a Cody list, right?
Whoa!
Cena! People say that I am vulnerable.
Yeah.
But the beast is always the most dangerous when they're vulnerable. And maybe, just maybe, you woke up the beast. Hit the music.
Dun, 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 dun. You know what's funny? You sounded just like yourself doing
I know,
a promo.
I don't have...
I know. Okay, how about The Rock? Do The Rock.
I can't do The Rock.
You can't?
The Rock says... You Rudy Poo candy asses want to come out here and run your mouth in front of the final boss. You're worried about me being vulnerable. Well, The Rock says the beast is always the most vulnerable. The beast is always the most dangerous when they're vulnerable. Maybe. And I say, baby, he woke up the beast. If you smell what the final boss is cooking.
I love the eyebrow, the not being able to actually.
Yeah,
put
that
your
wasn't
eyebrow.
very good.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was.
And that's the bottom line.
That's
Dude, I'm ready for the Raw before Mania. I'm going to be there. Day after the season ends.
Didn't you just get yourself a Rock shirt?
I did.
Final Boss shirt? Is it Final Boss or Rock?
Final Boss.
Oh,
I think.
what are you looking for?
I haven't had it.
It's not. You guys, like, he would kill me if I ran out in the middle of the podcast just to show this shirt. Okay.
I guess it says The Rock, but
It's The Rock. Good for you.
yeah.
Good for you.
Someone said I sound like Hank Hill. Dude, I didn't say it. She's putting me on the spot. I'm just doing improv, guys. Anyway, the whole
I thought it was
point.
good. Oh, yeah.
The whole point
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this was Jokic's line. That's badass, man.
I like it. Well, we'll see. We'll see how they. I don't even know their schedule. I want to see.
Well, they've got 2 games left. Relax.
So what?
Anyway, what else did we need to talk about? We talked about Keon Ellis and Trey Lyles. Oh, can we give some love to Devin Carter? That guy is he is a dog, and he is showing why every time he gets minutes now. He comes in tonight and was just a pass, just picking up full court. I love it.
Yeah, I love the sequence when he was defending Russell Westbrook, had that block. Westbrook gets it back, tries to go back up for a layup, contest, right? Just that energy, that activity that they needed to try and rally back and get into this game. Focus.
Someone just says, I didn't know The Rock sold propane and propane accessories. Everyone's saying it sounds like Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
No.
The Rock says, I do sound like Hank Hill. Maybe I'm a Hank Hill.
Hey, guys. I feel like Hank Hill is like.
Okay, you don't have a Hank Hill. I have a Hank
It's
Hill.
more of a, but don't you have to do more of like a, like.
I'm sure I do. Anyway, yeah, Devin Carter, you're right, dog. Another guy, real fast.
Yeah.
Dougie McBuckets, huh?
Hey, give me those buckets.
Here's the thing. I know this guy can shoot. I know he could space the
What's
floor.
the thing?
Good movement shooter. Good on the DHO game. I like him out there. I not all the time, because defensively it's going to be a challenge with, like, I don't know, 87% of the Kings roster.
Yeah.
But I mean, when he comes in and he is knocking down shots, it's like, no, let's have him be that spark plug. If he can come in and knock down a few threes, which he did tonight, he ends up with 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting, and threw a sick lob
The
to
spacing,
LaVine. Yep.
spacing, like you said. And, it just throws something different at a team, especially when he comes in and actually can be that threat. And then even in transition, Devin Carter at one point had a look, but made the extra pass to Doug on the right wing. He knocks it down in transition. So I love it. I love it. I wish, but he's a basketball player. He's human. Like, it's not going to just always be automatic. But I feel like the last couple of times, what?
He's a basketball player. He's human.
Yeah.
That's the type of analysis you get with Deuce and Mo.
Well, I was just saying, like,
It's just a
he's not
joke.
going to always be automatic.
I know,
You know
I
what I
know, I
mean?
know.
Like,
It was just a funny
it's
line.
like you want him to always just execute what your job is. It's really hard to just come in for 8 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever it is, and just be like, give us some threes, please. And it's like, if he's not doing that,
Yeah,
then
that's tough.
then we're all talking shit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see.
Yeah, someone in the chat says, no touches really in the second half for him. Yeah, get him some looks. DeMar shot 26 times tonight and had 7 free throws. God damn. 8 for 26. He was getting them up.
And we didn't get any TD tonight.
I know.
I wanted that so bad.
How do you not play Terrence Davis tonight? I thought for sure he'd get some run.
I don't know.
I was watching him warm up before the game. He could not miss a 3.
Yeah.
He could not miss a 3. It was amazing.
Put him in there.
I know.
Put him in. Well, and it was fun to see too, because this crowd was super into it.
Yeah.
Trey Lyles dives on the floor, ends up going out of bounds, and the crowd just gets pumped. You just hear it like roar a little bit and then roar louder. And roar. It's just like they just feel this instant pride. In those moments that happen on this home floor is why I feel like with this roster, because they actually feed off of it, it is important for them to get that 9th spot so they do get that home court advantage.
A couple of other things that we should look at real fast with the Nuggets before we move on and look ahead and hit some other topics. We talk about the others. Porter, 21 points. Check out this balance. 21 points for him, knocked down 4 of 8 from 3. Gordon had 21 points, 5 assists on 9 of 16. We mentioned Jokic's triple-double. Christian Braun with 25. Jalen Pickett with 18 points. That's pretty impressive balance.
I mean, that's what we were saying about their starting lineup. And, and again, not to take away what the bench added and contributed in different ways, but it truly is with this Nuggets team. If you have all their guys, their starting unit going, they really are a good team.
Denver also 21-16 on fast break points. And they got the Kings on second chance points, +5, 17-12.
Only 8 turnovers for the Kings.
Love that number.
Yep.
Great number.
I mean, and that's why, again, it's like shit wasn't sloppy. They made in-game adjustments. They put up a fight. It sound like, oh, that's good enough for me.
No, it's perspective. It is just perspective. And Denver is the team, like literally, if they had to play them in the play-in, say Denver was falling into the 7-8 thing, and you had to play them, like you don't want to see this team in a one-game thing because Jokic. But I'd much rather see him if you've got Keegan and Jake. That way you'd be in a much better position to maybe get that game. It's just a little tougher challenge with their size. We got more of the podcast coming up, including we got to talk about Malik Monk, Terrence Davis, Luka's return to Dallas tonight.
Ooh.
Also talk some Suns, Kings-Mavs play-in. It's happening. Where will it take place? Plus, Kings play the Clippers in their next game. Those Clippers are scary. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery, Morgan.
We love being partnered with Sentivo Vineyards. They are a family-owned winery, and they're all Kings fans. They craft some of the most amazing and award-winning wines. They have a new tasting room, too, that's opening up in Fairfield this spring. And if you can't wait to drink their wine, just head to SentivoVineyards.com, where you can purchase all the bottles that we've been enjoying right here all season long. So SentivoVineyards.com.
Appreciate their support of the Deuce and Mo podcast. I had my mic down, dude. I'm just back in the studio for the first time in a while, Morgan. You can't judge me.
That's okay.
You just can't.
I'm going to judge you now.
Okay, we're also presented tonight by our friends over at Mando! Hey, Morgan.
Yeah.
Do you stink?
No.
Ask yourself, do you sometimes have a little BO? Be honest about yourself.
I mean, have I ever in my life? I'm sure.
You won't smell my pit, right?
No.
Will you now? With Mando?
No.
Mando?
No.
Well, you should. Here, how about you just smell this though? Legit.
If
smell.
someone were to shove this shit in your face,
It's not. Yeah. Yeah. It's a game changer. Hear about these deodorants, a whole body deodorants. You go, okay, does it really work? Put it on. 72 hours protection. Hit a timer. Put it to the test. I dare you. I put it on one day. Next day, I shower. Guess what happens?
What?
I don't even have to put deodorant on. They still smell good. It lasts that long.
That's amazing for you. I'm so happy.
It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours, Morgan.
Impressive. Very impressive.
And you can literally put it anywhere.
Yeah.
Balls, skin folds,
Put it on my balls.
anywhere.
So happy about
So
that.
go to shopmando.com. Promo code is DMPOD. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. And as a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code DMPOD at shopmando.com, SHOMPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe to skin folds to thigh folds to balls.
Someone said, can you put it between the toes?
Yeah,
So there you go.
why not?
All the things.
Also presented tonight by our friends at
Medic Ambulance. Where We're thrilled to team up with Medic Ambulance, a trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is there to serve. When seconds matter, trust the professionals setting the standard in patient care. Medic is the official emergency medical response partner of Sac Republic and Sac State Athletics. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Morgan,
What?
I love this time of the year, mid 70s, 80s. You know what that means?
What does it mean?
My thighs are out.
Okay.
I wear shorts a lot,
Okay.
but I like to be comfortable.
Okay.
And can I just tell you, Bird Dogs, game changer. Check out the khaki ones. Feel them, feel them.
I do love how they feel.
Yeah. You need to get your own by going to birddogs.com today. What's so cool about these, they're light. I feel like you can wear them out. You could jog in them.
I was like, you should.
But look,
I
they're like
wear them out,
stylish.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
no, I get it.
They look amazing. And for a limited time, our listeners get a free hat with any order when they use code DMPOD at birddogs.com. Get that hat completely free when you use code DMPOD at
Ooh.
birddogs.com. Check out the shorts today. Support our show and let them know we sent ya.
So a nice free hat as the sun comes out.
Yep.
Short shorts.
No brainer. Also presented by our friends at Golden One Credit Union. We're all one at Golden One. Scan that QR code or go to goldenonecreditunion.com, the official credit union of the Sacramento Kings. You join and you can get up to 50% off Kings home games, 15% off Kings merch at the team store when you use that Golden One debit card. Go to goldenonecreditunion.com, the official credit union of the Sacramento Kings. We're all one with Golden One. All right, Morgan Reagan.
That's me.
That is you. Kings got some tough news today with Malik Monk. He left that last game in Detroit in the first quarter with a calf injury. And you're going, all right, how long is this gonna be? And then you find out yesterday that the Kings have agreed to terms on a deal with Terrence Davis. Well, fast forward today, we did learn that Malik Monk is dealing with a calf issue that is going to keep him out at least 2 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks, meaning
Sucks.
he will be missing the play-in game for the second consecutive year.
So shitty. So shitty, especially when you're just trying to find a groove within your rotations, him coming off the bench, having that spark plug. But look, as soon as they signed TD, I said to you, uh-oh, things are worse. And it's like, that's an obvious. And the timing is really shitty as well. Not only it just being at the end of the season, but the fact that he's not going to be there for one of their biggest games of the season.
Yeah, and he's been a little up and down since he had that illness too. But he had a couple of games where, oh, he's looking like Malik again. He got off to a really slow start in that Pistons game before leaving. You know he's the type of player you need. And how much did they miss him last year when they didn't have another guy that can go get a bucket or create something? He means a lot for their pace. So it's going to be on the Kings to continue to try to like push the pace even when he's not there, which is a challenge for some of these guys, but the consistency is massive. Like you were talking about earlier with DeRozan, his assist numbers have been up, turnovers have been down, which is great. And part of the thing is he's getting the Kings into their early offense.
Yeah.
He is pushing a lot more. And now that's even more imperative when you're missing Malik Monk. So you hope that maybe you can get back a little faster. If not, hopefully, if you're in a playoff series, you somehow make it there. He comes back for that series against OKC.
If that were to happen, great. Would love to see it. It's just, again, tough to not have him in win or go home situations just because of what you do need from this Kings roster and what he has contributed for this team. But again, can TD even see the floor, maybe see minutes if they need him?
Yeah, I was a little surprised he didn't play today, but
Especially because they're shorthanded without so many guys.
well, one, Keon's going to get more minutes, which is just great.
Yes,
Also, like Keon
love.
needs to be out there. What he's done defensively, and you just see tonight, like he can be an offensive threat too with 20 points. I think they love what Devin Carter is bringing off the bench right now, and Devin, even knocking down a couple of shots tonight. I just thought his energy and just the ball pressure he brings, the physicality is something that they lack. So he should definitely get some minutes. But what I do like about bringing back Terrence Davis is he knows how the Kings want to play. They want to play with pace. He's a guy that can knock down threes. He's shown that in his NBA career in Sacramento. He showed that this year playing in the G League, hitting over 40% from downtown. He brings a level of athleticism, juice to the game, a little chaos.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too much. But I wouldn't mind if they press that button, especially next couple of games.
Well, especially if you don't have Keegan.
Here's what you
don't
need to
have
do.
Jake.
Win the next game so you can secure that number 9 spot
Sure.
and get that have that home playing game in the first matchup, the 9-10 matchup. And then in that Suns game, you probably rest some guys a little bit because you don't need to win that game and let someone like TD get some run.
Yeah. And then it would be April 16th would be that first.
Wednesday, April 16th. Is it
Okay.
going to be in Sacramento or Dallas? That's the question.
Mhm.
I'm also really happy for Terrence Davis. He had a really positive experience in Sacramento. His parts of 3 seasons here. He was a part of that original Beam team. God, it sounds so stupid. What's that even mean?
Are you okay?
Beam team.
What happened there?
He was part of the OG Beam team. What's wrong with me?
Are you okay?
I'm good now.
Oh, God.
You're supposed to go, you're good, man.
You're good.
Great teammate. OG Beam team.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I remember at the end of the season, we went to the exit interviews with the players, and he was just talking about how much he loved the experience and what Mike Brown meant to him and how he made him better.
How he made him a better basketball player.
Yeah.
That's the line I remember.
And then the Kings don't re-sign him, and they instead trade for Chris Duarte. Anyway, Terrence ends up going to the G League. Last year, playing for the Rip City Remix in January, he ruptures his Achilles tendon. Oh, so think about how low he feels. He had a good, productive stint in Sacramento. They don't re-sign him. Doesn't get picked up in the NBA. Thought about maybe EuroLeague. Ends up in the G League. Ruptures his Achilles. Then he comes back this year, plays for the Wisconsin Herd, has a productive G League season, and now he's back in Sacramento. So it's just a testament to that grind and not giving up. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I am too. I love those stories that end up turning out this way, right? And the fact that it's full circle and he is back and it's with the Sacramento Kings on their roster. We'll see if it becomes anything, but either way, I just love it for him as a person as well.
Next up for the Kings, they take on the LA Clippers. We'll talk about them in a second, but a couple of things around the league tonight.
Sure.
Did you guys see the game winner from the Black Falcon, Harrison Barnes, tonight?
I did.
Against his former team, the Golden State Warriors. The Spurs win in San Francisco 114-111. HB with 20 points and the game-winning three-pointer. He was 6 of 9 in this game. All of those shots were from downtown. He hit 6 of 9 from 3, ends up with 20 points, and the game winner. And no, I'm not reading that in the chat tonight. No,
Oh, what? What do you see?
Oh, why didn't he hit that in game 3 in San Francisco against the Golden State Warriors when he was open? Or was that game 4? I don't know. They all blur together.
Wow.
I'm not reading that. That's, first of all, a lot to read, but I'm not reading that.
So weird that happened there because you also used that same line on the post-game show.
That loss, by the way, that loss by the Warriors dropped them to 7th.
That's crazy.
Dropped them to 7th.
Good job, HB. You did what you needed to do. You understood the assignment. And this is why this time of year is so fun when you see teams that are already out of it just trying to obviously still compete and screw over other teams.
It's been a while since we played a little Who Did That? Where we bounce around the NBA and go over games we didn't really see, but we throw some numbers and we ask the question, who did that?
Who did that?
Harrison Barnes would have been a great example of that. He had 20 points in the win. Another interesting game out there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, 28 points.
An interesting player in the game.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Relax. 28 points, 16 of 17 at the free throw line. 16 of 17 at the free throw line for Jimmy Butler in the loss. They dropped to 7. Brutal. Whoa. How about this game tonight?
Oh, God.
Don't even look.
Okay.
Orlando 96. Boston 76.
Like, that's the only thing I saw. The score.
Wow. All right, Boston,
Yeah, give me something good.
15 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 of 17 shooting, though.
Is that Tatum?
No, none of their guys played.
Oh.
They started Baylor Shireman, Torrey Craig, Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, and Peyton Pritchard, who had 15 and 10.
So, okay. So it wasn't Peyton Pritchard.
It was.
Oh, it was.
That's what I just said.
Damn.
They shot just 39%. Boston was 7 for 40 from 3 in this game. 17.5%. They had 16 turnovers that turned into 25 points.
40 attempts.
Orlando
Damn.
wins.
What a weird score to a game.
How many people do you think tuned into Toronto, Charlotte tonight? The
Um,
Raptors won 126-96.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Not many then.
Wow.
What?
28 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds for the Hornets tonight.
I have no idea who would even... Miles Bridges?
No. Miles Bridges did not play in this game.
Oh
They
my
started KJ
God.
Simpson, Nick Smith Jr., Yusuf Nurkic, Salon, and Daquan Jeffries, the former King. It was Nick Smith, 28
Okay.
points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds.
Good for him. In a loss.
Miami, Chicago Bulls
Okay.
get the win 119, 111, 22 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. For the
On
Bulls.
Bulls. Okay. Kevin Herter?
Kevin Herter.
Hey.
There's also a play in this game where Tyler Hero had a steal and a wide open chance to like lay it in when they were down in the final minute, and he pulled up for 3 and bricked it, and then the Bulls scored.
No. Oh, no.
Here's another random game. Utah wins in overtime, 133-126 over the Blazers, who had 30 points, 18 rebounds, and 5 assists tonight for the Jazz. Who
Did that, George?
Keontae George had 18 on 6 of 16. No, it's Kyle Filipowski, the rookie, 30 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 steals on 13 of 17 shooting. Insane. Let's look at who
Did that.
The Suns are officially dead.
They
Oklahoma City beat them tonight 125-112. They have been absolutely eliminated. They will not be a play-in team. Wow. How crazy is that? That
It's
Phoenix Suns
insane.
team.
It's insane because if I was covering a team or rooting for a team with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal.
Mike Budenholzer as the head coach. Yeah, I mean, I know they were a flawed team. I just didn't think they were going to be like this.
No.
Like, even if you were not high on them as, hey, a Western Conference contender.
Yeah.
I didn't think, like, no, they will completely miss the play-in because they're just not going to be good enough.
Not with those names.
35 and 44.
And I understand, too, it's not just about, like, having a big 3 on a
Yeah.
team. Like, we're seeing that. You see when the Kings even in some of these wins play team basketball, like fantastic team basketball or team defense. It's like, oh, the things you can accomplish as a team when you go back to the fundamentals. It's wild to see these names on that roster and you still can't figure out a way to even just get in the play-in.
And where do they go from here? They don't have
Oh.
draft picks either, and they're in, like, cap space hell, right? The obvious one is that they're going to move Durant. You know, he's got a contract that's $50 million. What teams trade for him? Obviously, I'm sure someone would. No shit. But even that, like, what's that get you back? And, like, how do you pivot from here? That's what's going to be fascinating to watch for the Phoenix Suns. Like, crazy. Also, OKC with the win. That's now 66 wins for them. 66 and 14. What a season for them.
Huge season.
Unbelievable
Yep.
stuff. The Clippers, the Kings' next opponent, got the win 134-117. Hold that thought. We'll talk about them in a second. Lakers, Dallas.
Waiting for you to get to this
Lakers, Dallas, LA. Last night they lost in Oklahoma City. Luka got ejected in like a 1-point game. He was talking shit to a fan. The ref thought he was talking shit to him. Teed him up, got a second tech, ejected in a 1-point game. Complete horseshit call. In fact, the league rescinded the technical today. A couple of things. Like, refs, you got to relax on that, okay? you can't be tossing Luka in a 1-point game. It's Lakers Thunder. Just can't happen. I mean, even if he was talking to you, I hope it was really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like when you say that out loud, I'm like, well, you can, because it's bullshit that, there's immunity to it. But the fact is, they got it wrong. He wasn't talking to him.
And he was having a great game. So anyway, the next night, he returns to Dallas. Fire Nico Harrison chants early in this game. They played a video tribute that, I mean, Luka just
Bald.
I mean, he was so emotional in that moment. How about this in his return?
What?
45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. He was 16 of 20 shooting, 7 of 10 from 3 in the win. Anthony Davis against his former team, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists in 33 minutes. And the Mavs got the win. Excuse me, Mavs. I'm so used to saying Luka the Mavs. Sorry. The Lakers got the win, 112-97. Luka, 45 points.
I mean, that's a homecoming. That's how you do it.
I mean, we've seen guys like in their feelings when they return back to a place they spent time. You can tell the way Luka reacted, that like his love and the emotions he felt from the trade.
Yes.
I mean, that was a lot for him to process tonight. And then to go out and compete at that level and just cook.
Dominate.
Cook your former team.
Clapped ass. Obviously, he likes that arena. He likes that floor. What I am really curious about, if Mavs fans were rooting him on, because his exit was so like, F this organization, we love this man.
Yep. I think it stays the same forever for them. The bond between Luka and that city is so unbreakable. I mean, it shook Dirk Nowitzki, who was on vacation when the trade happened, and like it shook him. And so I don't think people outside of Dallas totally understand it. Like, this is not, there's nothing, we've seen nothing like this really in the league, where a fan base is in absolute love with a player who's still young, barely entering his prime, who's had a ton of success, just got you to the NBA Finals, and then gets traded.
Well,
it just doesn't happen.
But what's wild about it, I think there are a lot more people around the NBA now that see him as like not so much the heel. Right. And especially, I feel like a lot of people around the league, like, he complains, he does this, he does blah, blah, blah. Yes, all those things true. But then when he kind of got screwed over in this, and he wears a Lakers jersey and people still feel for him, like, and I'm being kind of serious in that, because usually when people end up wearing that Lakers jersey, it's at that caliber, it's not because of like a big old trade. It's because they wanted to go there, because they wanted to make sure their careers, they were going to, be in this organization and benefit from it on and off the court. And so you see this generational talent just get traded there by choice by the Mavs. It's pretty wild.
Insane. And their fans are, they've lost a lot of fans because of it too.
Mm-hmm.
So a big win for the Lakers in Luka's return. And the Kings will be playing the Mavericks in the play-in. We know that for a fact, the 9-10 matchup. In fact, Doug Christie was asked about it after the game. If like, hey, do you just kind of focus on yourself the next couple of games, or, have you started scouting Dallas? And Doug said that they sent one of their scouts, Will Scott, to focus on the Mavericks. Like, he's been on the road with watching the Mavs to get ready for their game plan. And it's going to be interesting to see. One, it's got to be in Sacramento. It can't be going to Dallas, please. A 9-10 game in Dallas. Although, like, beating them there would be fun. I don't know. I just see that court and I have bad memories
also,
of playing big games in Dallas.
Would have to go there. That's probably the other reason, too.
Yeah, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. No, of course you
That building just haunts me, because it's where Chris Webber was never the same after he crumbled in game 2 and had that knee injury, then had to have the microfracture surgery that really just closed the Kings championship window, and haven't been anywhere near that since. So there's the emotions that come with that. But yeah, you just want it at Golden One Center. It's going to be, I think, a challenging matchup no matter what. I just think you look at that length and size that with Anthony Davis, right? With Lively, Gafford is back too. Najee Marshall has that toughness, and something I mentioned to you on the pregame today. I don't know. There's like a part of me that's slightly concerned about a Klay Thompson revenge game.
Oh yeah, that was
the
a good
last time he played a playing game in Sacramento. The guy went 0 for 10 in his final game with the Warriors. I'm like, this is gonna be like the game he comes to Sacramento and tries to.
No, and you want to know why? Because Keegan will be back, and Jake LaRavia will most likely be back. And when I look at their length matching up with the Kings' length, with those two guys healthy and back into the rotation, I have higher hopes. I'm not like sitting here going, oh shit, this is going to be so hard. It's going to be very difficult, especially
I just think it would take a monster effort from AD, and I wonder how is Anthony Davis feeling physically after coming back from the injury. That first game when he played against Houston, with them, like he was looked disgusting. Is he going to get to that level again, or is this the version of Anthony Davis we're going to see is a guy that's clear, he's not 100%. And what's that mean? Because if he doesn't have a big game, I just don't see how Dallas can win that. Unless the Kings are just a joke and they can't do anything.
And the reason why I could still see Dallas seeing success, because I do believe, though, some of their bigs with Lively and Gafford also pose as such a big threat. Sure. But it's nice to also have Jonas coming off the bench.
But it's also like those guys. Like Derek Lively's not beating you, right? Like AD, it's a win a play-in. Dallas is gonna have to get AD like a 25 to 30 piece with like 14 rebounds. Like that's the type of game you're gonna have to get.
Well,
from him.
You saw tonight though against the Denver Nuggets, big and being Nikola Jokic, and the other guy still finding a way to kind of produce. And beat you. Different team. But I guess my point being is like, even from someone like PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, like you mentioned, don't let someone like Max Christie come off the bench and knock down a whole bunch of threes. Like you just have to have a different energy.
Either way, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. No shit.
But Jake LaRavia has been continuing to get on court work in following that thumb injury he's been dealing with. So hopefully he's back by then, and we'll get to that plan at some point. Next up, though, for the Kings, they take on the Clippers team that is playing some great basketball. They beat Houston tonight 134 to 117. Houston was sitting some guys, just to be clear. That should be noted. James Harden had 35 and 10. Kawhi Leonard 22 and 10. Zubats 22 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Zubats is
tripped up.
The guy's an all-NBA guy this year.
He sure is.
He's been so good, a great role. He's taken on more responsibility. That team is absolutely clicking right now. Since Kawhi Leonard hit that game winner against Sacramento,
I love
14 and 3. They've won 6 in a row.
Clicking.
And they are in the fifth spot right now. Yeah. They need a win on Friday night. They do not want to play in the play-in. Nobody does. So you're going to get the Clippers A game, I think.
I agree with you. And it could be fun if you get the Kings A game. You saw how fun that matchup was in overtime, even with Kawhi with the game winner. I felt like the Kings gave their all in that game. And then once they did that, their shift was like, shit, we're deflated. While the Clippers were like, oh, yeah, we're energized. And they both just went different ways. And the Kings are starting to click back, but the Clippers are clicking on a different level with their ball movement, with the way that they just understand one another on the floor.
They had 33 assists in this game, too.
Exactly.
19 of 37 from 3 in this game. Yeah, and Kawhi being healthy, what do you know? Pretty special player when he's healthy. That's the one area, like, can the Kings compete against this Clippers team without Keegan? And that's going to be the challenge. Because Keegan, you need that guy.
Fingers crossed he's back.
Please. Or just get him, it's not even about that. It's not even about, I mean, I obviously want the home game. I'd rather have Keegan healthy. Don't like rush back and then like hurt your back and be out long term.
That's true. That's true too. So that's something we can
Oh my God, we didn't get to our Simply the Best player of the game. Who would be your Simply the Best player of the game tonight?
Christian Braun.
Wow.
Is that messed up?
That is not where I was going.
Where were you going?
Our Simply the Best player of the game tonight.
Oh! Oh, of
Jerry
course.
Reynolds.
Chair Bear. I love it. Good job.
Jerry
I love that.
Reynolds returned to the broadcast tonight. He was the color analyst, and man, it's so good to see him before the game.
It was so good to see him.
We were so used to spending time with Jerry all those years before games, after games. And, it's not like he's not around the area, but, you just don't see, he's not at games anymore.
Yeah.
And so to have him in the building, he looks great. He sounded great on the broadcast.
I probably hugged him like 5 times in the
Dude.
moment that I was there. No, because it's you're so right. Like, just I think what that man means to not only Kings fans, but to both of us personally. And just he's someone that has accepted me from day one in this male dominated business, and just like has always just talked to me and treated me like an equal. And we love basketball and we get to talk hoops. And I know you two talk on the phone about hoops at times too.
Yeah, and he is just genuinely a nice person.
He really is.
In this business, you can run into people like with egos or maybe not nice people. And Jerry's like, the guy's been an executive. He's been a coach. He's done it all in this league. Like even before the game today, Mark Jones and Jay Billis did the game for ESPN. Jay Billis is going right up to Jerry Reynolds. Hey, coach. And they're just talking college basketball for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The people around the league love him. And it's not just because like, oh, he's good at what he does. No, because he brings good energy, and I love
What a
that,
joy
man.
to
It was
be
so
around.
good to have him back.
I'm with you.
For one game. So he is our simply the best player of the game, presented by Northwest Exteriors. Check out northwestexteriors.com. Yeah, Jer Bear is the best.
Truly. Like I think maybe that's why too we're not as down, because it was like
The Jerry energy was in the
yeah,
building.
yeah. The Jerryisms were flying everywhere. It was fun. It was fun to see.
Yeah. And he watches games all the time.
I
Still.
know.
He's in that recliner hanging out.
It is reclining.
He's living life. The funniest thing when I talk to him, and I do, it's one of those things. We used to talk a lot more.
Yeah.
I need to like call him more.
Life happens.
I
man.
know, but I could do a better job of like reaching out. We used to talk to Kings all the time. But every few months I'll check in with him. And one of the last times I chatted with him, it was funny. I was like, oh, you got any like trips planned? And it was like the most like old, like I've done it, seen it thing. Like, and I respect it so much. I was like, oh, you got any trips planned? And he's like, he doesn't want to fly anywhere.
I saw it all.
Because he literally went to every NBA city, stayed at 5-star hotels. He's been, especially getting spoiled on charter flights. You're not like sitting around
You're
waiting,
sitting in
fighting
first
for a
class
seat.
seats
Yeah.
the whole flight.
And he's like, no, I'm just going to chill,
Yeah.
go on my walks, hang out in Tahoe, have a good time. Love that, man.
Happy for him too. It was
Yeah.
great to see him.
Let's get to some final thoughts.
Some final thoughts. What was the point? Deuce already had a thought and
No,
was going
no.
to cut me off.
Can I get you to my pre-final thought? My pre-final thought, and
What
then you
the
go to final.
fuck is that? Okay.
Let's give some positive vibes to the Stockton Kings. They lost Game 1 of the G League Finals
I like this pre-final thought.
to the Magic. Game 2 is Friday night
Oh.
in Stockton. I don't know what the G League was thinking. I am convinced that if the G League looked at a map of California, they would think Stockton was near Santa Barbara. Not that Stockton and Sacramento are about 45 minutes apart.
Jeez.
And so Stockton is playing an NBA G League Finals game the same time the Kings are playing the Clippers, which is kind of a bummer because I think, anyway. But good vibes to the Stockton Kings to bounce
Yeah.
back. Do or die. You lose, it's over. You win, you force a Game 3 in Florida. Let's go.
Feel that home court advantage. Hopefully they can get things done. I like that pre-final thought. My final thoughts?
Yeah.
I like how our energy and mentality, ours, has shifted since the Washington loss.
Yeah.
Because that was a really dark down place. And
Yeah.
I didn't think I could really get out of that. And for the Kings to play some good basketball to get me back going again and appreciating hoops and the team that I love and that I follow, to even a game like tonight where you need the wins, but like I don't feel any disappointment. I loved breaking down some of the things that we got to break down. And I'm just really hoping Friday that they bring that same type of energy that we saw in that last matchup against the Clippers, and then it could be a fun time.
Bring the level of compete that you've had the last few
Hell yeah.
games. Like even tonight's compete, you'll like it.
Hell yeah.
Bring that type of focus and intensity. You're going to give yourself a chance. I love the chat too. Someone in the chat was just saying, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I sat down and watched the game for the first time in over a week. Yeah, you missed a few good games in there, but I get people take a breaks. I don't look at tonight as like, oh my God, this is disgusting. There are things I didn't like for sure, but ultimately you bring this type of level. All right. My final thought.
Do you want to get to those before your
Let's
final
get the
thought?
super chats first. Shout out to Sebastian donating $5, a Spurs fan. Wants to give his love, get some love to the Spurs who won tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Ong for donating $2. And shout out to Wonton donating $2, saying Deuces, Hank the Rock Hill made my night.
You guys are too kind.
You guys are
Thank
amazing.
you for the donation.
My final thought. Tonight's a bittersweet night.
Ooh.
Podcast continues. No shit. We keep this thing rolling even in the off season. But this was the final Deuce and Mo pre and post game show of the season, the regular season. If the Kings make it to the playoffs, I think there's a shot that maybe we do something.
Maybe.
But tonight was it. I know you're not working Friday's broadcast, but you're working Sundays with Mike Bibby. So it's a bittersweet for this. Last year, I think I worked like between 15 and 18 pre and post games. And this year, I don't know what my final tally was, but I more than doubled, if not tripled that.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun getting the chance to do it. And I know we've talked about this. It's just a thing like every year, I guess I reflect on. I feel so fortunate to be doing this in my hometown, doing pre and post game. Like this is what I wanted as a little kid to work on the Kings broadcast.
Yes.
What I wanted. And I sometimes have to like knock myself, even if I'm not where I want to be, and go, hey, remember, dude, you are living your dream right now. And the fact that we get to do this together, me and Morgan, and have so much fun on these shows, it means everything. It also means everything that we've had support at NBC Sports California from like Justin Hathaway, who's now moved on, Dave Bernstein,
Love those
Devin
guys.
Fox, our producer. I mean, Nick's amazing, Cassine, like all these people. We're missing some people, but the initial, like Dave and Justin had a belief in us early that they could put two people on who are known as podcasters
And not former players.
and that they could put on a good pre and post game. And I know we're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. That's just life. But I like to think we've gotten better over time. I think it's been a joy to like show off our passion for basketball and our enthusiasm for Sacramento and going through the highs and lows of a season together. I've learned a lot this year. It's been so much fun. I wish I was working all 82. We'll get there someday,
Yeah.
but it's been fun.
We both will.
Yep.
We both will. No, I love that perspective. I love that final thought.
Thanks.
It's been so much fun. And I think it's been so much fun too, because one of the coolest things, obviously, when we come on this podcast, we hear it, but on social and even when we're at games, people say, you were saying what I was thinking. You were feeling what I was feeling. Oh my God, when you did this the other day, and it's like, yeah, because we are all like, we're all kind of in this together. And so it is so cool that we all get to kind of just like be there and experience, whether it's the podcast or the post-game show, pre-game shows together. So thanks for always having such kind words for us.
And I know I've mentioned this before, but it's so true. If it wasn't for you guys and you supporting our podcast,
1 billion%.
I don't think we're doing pre and post game. I think because they saw the response from you guys and the community that we've all kind of we've been together during the highs and the lows, that spoke to people. And so you guys are the best. And thank you so much for supporting us.
And someone just amazing said High School Musical. We're all in this together.
Never seen that show in my life.
Jesus, it's a basketball and it's a musical.
The only reason I know that part is because a stupid commercial for I think, didn't they used to do like was it like some sort of ice show? like ice skating show.
Yes,
And I
the High School
remember-
Musical
Oh,
ice
God,
skating
and they
show.
play that. We're all in
And
this
this together.
together. What, is Zac Efron in that?
Yes, and Vanessa Hudgens. That's where they first fell in love. I know.
I did not
It's an
know that.
epic musical. Ashley Tisdale is like the popular blonde girl.
Ashley Tisdale, where's she at nowadays, huh?
She's living life in LA.
Oh, you sound like you're friends with her. Okay. No, just we're still. Someone said so. You're not doing pre and post game anymore.
Oh, no.
I don't. Well, who the hell knows the future? But I'd assume we're doing pre and post game next year. No, just for the regular season. That was it.
It's always that year to year contract, and so then you figure it out. But obviously, we'll be back. But we're just saying for the end of this season, that was our last one together.
Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us, you basketball sickos. Make sure to comment after the show. Let us know what you noticed different in the background too. How you're feeling about things. How do you feel about the Kings-Mavs play-in game? Drop it in the comments below. We love you guys so much, but we got to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce